content doesn't work for recruiters in generating clients. What's your quick response to that?
Of course it does.
Okay, cool.
I've cashed checks,
Yeah.
monthly because of that. Yeah.
Yep.
Here's how you help me is, when that first month when I rebranded and launched, I took on a couple things that were contingent and I got out of my funnel. I'd been doing their contained search for the year prior very successfully. I got out of what was making me successful, hit some roadblocks along the way. And you really helped me come to terms with that and say okay, I'm going to put aside those pregame jitters and the nervousness of being an entrepreneur and worrying about and focusing on that. And I've turned some people away, which is kind of scary to do as a new business owner, but it worked out and it allows me to be hyper-focused on the clients who appreciate me most. This is key, is working with you, understanding and buying into the concept of earlier, like marketing, creating awareness. I truly love this. I'm a nerd for this stuff. I'll go to a trade show and walk around and look at everything and talk to people, not trying to get a fee. Just oh, this is the coolest new consistency of posting that on LinkedIn. Here's who I am. Here are my interests. This is what I love to do. Then you helped me with automation, which was just expanding my network. It's been fun to see that come full circle because part of my messaging when I'm connecting with people is hey, I really try and post 3 times a week. And these are some of the general topics I post about. And I get a lot of response to that of I'm new into sales and I'm excited to see your sales tips. And then I'll email someone, here's the link of a 2-minute video that you can incorporate in your world. Automation's helped a ton, but before that, you helping me understand the consistency of getting my personality and passion out there has been huge.
Well, content doesn't work for recruiters in generating clients. What's your quick response to that?
Of course it does.
Okay, cool.
I've cashed checks,
yeah.
monthly because of that. Yeah. The initial fear was more of an ROI. Young family wanting to provide, oh my gosh, I'm going to take 10 minutes to write a LinkedIn post when I could be making a cold call. Boy, how my mentality there has changed. One thing I was nervous of is posting about a certain technology and having someone who's the PhD in that come in and give me that, well, actually, this is more nuanced. But I've been fortunate enough not to encounter that. Every business is business between people, and recruiting is the most tangible, personified version of this. People want to know who you are as a person. So I do. I put that out there. I've made posts here's 3 things being a father has taught me, and these are real lessons I've learned from being a father and how they've actually impacted me being a business owner or a businessman. When our daughter was born, I was I don't care if this is the wrong platform. I'm so excited. I want to share this with all the people in my network. Got lots of friends over the last decade in this business who don't have an Instagram or don't have a Facebook or whatever. And those people were sending me DMs about they were so happy for me. We didn't even know you're expecting. We're going to send you a registry gift. My advice to anyone who's really worried about that would be, sure, some people may not appreciate it. There's going to be way more people who do appreciate it and really like getting to know who you are as a person outside of the role you're performing, Monday through Friday. So yeah, getting my passion for the industry out there is huge. Being consistent with showing up and putting content out there. You were truly the one who challenged me of look, you were successful doing this container game for the last year and you've taken things on contingency and now you're struggling. Why do you think that is? It's so I got off my process. Well, why is that? I had self-centered fear for myself and my family. I wasn't going to be able to provide. Let's act without that. What's the best practice? Following the process of procedures I built. Hard to pick which one. It's been a huge transformation working with you and utilizing a marketing expert because I'm certainly not one.
What are some of the results that you've created, whether it be revenue or clients or whatever that you'd be willing to share with the audience as a result of us kind of working together?
The financial reward has been there. In the first year, I matched what I was making with just shy of a 6-figure base and that type of commission. I think the ultimate reward is I've been able to create something I really believe in, and I get to make those changes and run that how I see fit. And that's truly best for my customers, my clients, and myself. That works out for all of us. I'm never going after something I don't truly believe in. That freedom, that autonomy, that ooh, I see this trend coming. I can capitalize on this. In the past, I've never, not working for myself, I wouldn't have had the ability to capitalize on those things. So that's really big. And then, things I'm really proud of it. There was a gentleman who was maybe experiencing some of what I've experienced, a little bit of fear or uncertainty, taking on additional challenges. And when I approached him on the phone, this guy was telling me about what he really wants in life and the challenges he really wants. Man, this is great. I've got this employer and this is what they want. and I see you as having 90% of it, and like that last 10%, like you'll bridge that. But and then he pulled back. He's like, I'm really not qualified. I'm really not this. I'm all this self-limiting thought. And I just like, I stopped and, you know, I'm pausing not to say his name. And I was like, so-and-so, look, you just told me you wanted this. You have what it takes to be here. And your current employer isn't giving you the shot to grow into that. And this is a brand new employer and a fresh start. And from day one, they're going to give, you know, they're going to give you that opportunity. Like Peyton Manning had this great quote about treat a man as he is, that's who he'll be. Treat a man as who he can, you know, who he could be, and that's who he'll become in his famous retirement speech. And I've stayed in touch with him. And it was like a guy who was selling a couple $1 million a year, and like eight weeks in, he already had $1 million project like booked, and he had like a multi-million-dollar project funnel, and he was just like rejuvenated and passionate about what he was doing again. I could probably tell like 8 or 9 more stories like that. And like why ration the passion? Like that stuff really juices me up because it's fun to be a part of helping people grow into more fulfilling roles. Nothing worth doing is easy.
Right.
You know, that one thing I'll take away, like life lesson from my father, like nothing worth doing is easy. You have a great method and procedure and the roadmap of how to get there. But it's not like, hey, you pay this and now it's done for you.
Right.
Like to your point, like one, that would be unauthentic, but 2, like the amount I've learned and like just grown from that has been wild, because not only has it like helped me with my social media and getting things out there, but it's actually, I've changed sales presentations around that. I've made other changes with how I'm approaching candidates,
Right.
messaging. It was a lot of work, and I really appreciate that because it's made me step up and grow.
What would you tell somebody that's considering working with me?
Do it. Do it. Look, the next 6, 8, 12 months are going to go by like truly. In a year from now, it's just going to be February 22nd, 2024. You could have either invested in yourself and grown your business and been better servant to your clients and your candidates and the other people in your life, because Donnie's program isn't just limited to your professional life, or you can keep doing what you're doing and get the same results.